So, Matthew, do you remember how we left everyone hanging last week because we had no plans for the 4th of July weekend?
I do. I was very convinced that we was going to end up stopping at the grocery store and buying some last minute sparklers.
While an accurate concern, we didn't end up doing that because we went to some of our friends' house. They had a cookout and we had a really great night. But it did get me to think about how much pressure the culture puts on us around holidays. So it's like you're required to have two hands full of maximum hype, maximum events, and maximum noise, or you're doing it wrong.
Meanwhile, I was perfectly content with my one handful of tranquility and a plate of boogers and a Sunday afternoon nap.
That is exactly what we're going to talk about today. This is Sunday Faith, Weekday Chaos with Matthew and Ashley Brooks.
Where faith meets family.
And choosing a low-key calm is the ultimate act of countercultural rebellion. So our weekend didn't go exactly as planned because Thursday afternoon, you texted me and said, guess what, guess what? And my answer is always what, because I have no clue where that's going. And what was your guess what?
I was off on Friday.
Which was kind of awesome, yet threw rather a wrench into the plans that I had laid out for Friday.
Understand.
So I had ended up deciding, since you weren't going to be joining us, that the kids and I were going to go to the water park. And I had invited our cousins, who are in, one's just out of high school and one's going into high school. And so that put 5 of us in the vehicle, 5 seats, which fit perfectly in either of our vehicles. And though I was so excited that you were going to get to join us, I had to figure out what we were going to do.
Boys' vehicle, girls' vehicle.
Exactly. So that ended up working out so good. Was that not the most fun? I mean, Cecilia just got done with all of her swim lessons, and she was so dang excited to show us her ability to jump in the water without, getting her face wet, going under the water.
Not so much, well, that too, but for me, it was, I can stick my head under the water now. Watch this.
I know. Well, and she would jump in, go under the water, and then kind of like swim to us like she's in the doggy paddle stage. But that is so awesome compared to where she was this time last year.
Her confidence is through the roof.
Yes. And that has been
the
big thing. She's just seen in the last several months so much confidence boosting, and it's just been amazing to see.
Just like her introduction for the pageant.
Oh my gosh. She has that thing down pat, and she's finally adding some volume to it, because that's the one thing they wanted to do, is speak louder so that even though they're on a microphone, people can still hear them. So the other thing that was really cool to see that day was Creed in the water, because he's been in the pool once, but he wasn't very old. But I would say he would get his face wet. He loved splashing in his little boat, and getting to see him experience that for the first time was just really awesome to see.
Yes. It took him a minute to figure out what was kind of going on, but once he figured out the splashing right in front of him, there was no stopping him.
No, there was not. I will say one big difference between him and Cecilia at the water park. Do you remember when she was a baby? I would say up until the time she was, what, 2? She would curl up with one of us on the lounger and she would take a nap.
Shh. That was the one thing I think sometimes we look forward to, was because it would happen like right at lunchtime or a little bit after. Like we would take a break, eat, or
And she'd be ready to
just
nap.
do a snack or whatever, and then take a nap. Either both of us or one of us would go, the other one would flip back.
Go swim for a little bit.
Because you're just able to stick her at your feet and
She would like conk out.
be fine.
Creed, though, has so much FOMO. He is just like, there is so much going on and so many people I can watch. I don't want to go to sleep. Do I have to go to sleep? I'm not going to go to sleep. And then, like, it took a lot of coaxing to get him to just crash. And you could see in his little face, like, he was starting to droop, and he just drooped. He looked kind of like a little wilty flower, even though he was surrounded by water. And he's like, I'm ready for a nap, but I don't want to take a nap.
He's one that will go just like the Energizer Bunny. Go, go, go. And then when he crashes hard.
That he does. So as we moved further into our weekend, though that was kind of like a planned, kind of structured-ish sort of day, Saturday was the complete opposite, I think, of where we normally are on the 4th of July.
Yeah, normally we're on the move, going out of town. Usually try to plan something big.
Well, I mean, and just like get the most out of the holiday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I think the last several years, last year excluded, because last year we were in the hospital on the 4th, but we've really enjoyed going over to Vincent's. They have a parade, they have a fireworks display off the bridge, and it really is just a great way to celebrate the 4th. And
Agreed.
we're just staying home, staying near home, not having to spend part of the day traveling, not trying to come up with the logistics of, Creed and all of his accoutrements. We're finally out of that for the most part with Cecilia. And not having to plan, okay, I need to have snacks. Then we have to cart those to where we're watching the fireworks. That aspect of it was amazing. But being able to enjoy the invitation to their home was just something it was refreshing in just that sort of low-key way. They had invited, several friends over and kind of did a potluck. They did burgers and hot dogs and stuff. And it was just really good. I mean, there was not really any stress that was put on that.
Their hospitality was great.
It was phenomenal. And I mean, the bonus was there was a pool. Cecilia was a little fish in that with several of the other kids.
Yes.
And their backyard has a really great view of the fireworks that they shoot off at the park there in Florida. And so, I mean, yeah, there's a few trees that kind of blocked some of the like low fireworks, but all the other ones were high enough up that you could see those.
Well, even with some of the tree blocking, it's not like you was not able to see them.
Well, and no, I mean, you could definitely see the low ones through that. So it wasn't a hindrance.
No.
And like the one big thing, we didn't have to fight to walk to find our vehicle and then try and get out of the park, because that's always a nightmare.
Agreed.
I mean, we had to deal with some because they're close enough that their driveway comes out right near the park, but it still wasn't bad. Well, that was fun.
That was.
You really thought you were going to get around that traffic. Who knew that they had that road closed?
I know, right?
And then having to turn around and come back up the other road.
We made it, but
But do you know the one thing we did have time for on Saturday?
celebrating little man's first birthday.
Yep. And it was just kind of low key. He had some cupcake and just being thankful that he is here and in our lives. And I can't believe he is a year old.
Got to put together his water table.
Oh my goodness. He and Cecilia had such a blast with that. My parents had gotten him this water table. It's one of those, it's got like the top layer where you put in the water up the top, and then there's this one spot up there that like pours the water down the side, and it goes through these little gears and stuff. And they had a blast with that. But Creed was so fascinated with the part where it's just there's holes all across the top and it looks like it's raining. He's just playing and splashing. But
I think that was his favorite part, the water just coming down for the holes.
Oh my gosh. He was just so fascinated with that. But also just getting to kind of play, I think, in the water. He loves splashing in the water.
He does. He's a little water man himself.
Yep, he's a little water baby. So
we always said that about Cecilia being a little water girl.
Yeah, turns out she really wasn't. So hopefully that doesn't change for Creed. But I don't know. It just kind of, I think as we were looking at this and looking kind of what Scripture has to say on, these slower, more laid back seasons. And I think we stumbled across Ecclesiastes 3:12. And it says, I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live, that each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all their toil. This is the gift of God. And again, I think that goes back to, finding the joy, finding the happy in the different seasons that we find ourselves in, don't you?
Yes, I think it aligns itself very much. I think Solomon here at this point is telling us that God wants us to eat a good burger, hang out with our friends, and be able to watch some fireworks without stressing over their traffic.
The logistics of it.
Yes.
And I think the true gift is just getting to see the smile on our kid's face.
Mm-hmm. It was very enjoyable seeing not only Cecilia, she had fun with the other kids there, but all the other kids with their smiles and running around, and that little girl that was sitting next to her on her blanket watching fireworks.
Oh my gosh. Yes, they were just kind of chatting during that. It was the sweetest. The gal that was hosting, she got a quick little video of Cecilia and another little girl just being in awe of the fireworks. And I don't know if anyone's ever seen The Sandlot, but the moment where the boys are watching the fireworks and they all have that look on their face like, this is just so amazing. This is celebrating our country and, everything that it stands for. But it was just that like look of awe on their little faces. It was amazing.
And for me, just seeing the smiles on their faces, like, that just brings very enjoyment to my heart.
I agree. So another one that ties into this is also in Ecclesiastes, but Ecclesiastes 4:6. Better one handful of tranquility than two handsful with toil and chasing after the wind. So I think something that we just kind of ended up learning, looking back on this after the weekend was over, was that packing every hour, exhausting the kids, overspending, running on empty just to say we got everything out of the holiday that we possibly could. It's like chasing after the wind.
Yeah, and it was very nice not to have that. And it was very relaxing.
Well, and then to look at what we ended up doing on Sunday. Sunday, we went to church, came home, and I think we just kind of intentionally leaned into a low-key afternoon.
Ended up taking a little nap.
It was so nice. I love Sunday afternoon naps. There's something about that is just like, I'm like, that's what I want to do every Sunday. And we don't get to every Sunday, but
No.
the ones that we do, it's just so amazing.
I think that Sunday afternoon nap or just a little relaxation, just taking a moment, sitting down, I think that can help your, I say, mental state or even your.
It's just kind of like a reset.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the physical manifestation of, I don't know, choosing the one handful with tranquility, like you said in the beginning. And it's a radical act of faith that says, I don't have to stay in constant motion to be fulfilled.
Correct.
Because taking those little moments and taking that time to just enjoy the quiet, absolutely worth it.
Sunday evening, we did life group as always.
Yes. So the nap was able to, I think, refresh us and recharge our batteries to where we were able to go into life group with full batteries. And though right now we're in another spot where, gosh darn, Creed is all over the place and he wants to be all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to say I'm struggling, but it is definitely a challenge, I think, for both of us to focus during life group.
I can agree with that.
And I hate him feeling like he can't get down in Rome, which he can usually, but he is at the point he's getting into everything.
I just don't want to distract
everyone else.
Yes.
But overall, those are always really amazing gatherings. But life group is always such an amazing gathering. It's because it's a space where people aren't performing and it's an unhurried table when we break bread and we share our lives. And though I hate thinking that perhaps we're a distraction at the moment with the little one, it's not something I would trade.
No. I think for parents listening, I think they should try to plan a low-key weekend or take a Sunday afternoon nap or relax and try to embrace the simple backyard moments.
Along with that challenge, I think you should intentionally look to see where you're trying to grab the two hands full of toil, where God is maybe trying to offer you the one handful of tranquility.
Pull up a chair to the kitchen table next week. check out our Facebook page or like and subscribe to us wherever you get this podcast.